Hi there, Francis Schott here from Stage Left Restaurant and StageLeftWineShop.com. I'm here with Rachel Renales. Introducing Rachel, she is our new wine shop clerk. She will be the one taking your calls if you call or coming to take care of you when you come in. And in honor of Rachel's red hair, we're talking about Rosé gin today, or pink gin. Need a little clarification here. Pink gin actually has existed for decades. Pink gin refers to a regular gin that just has a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters in it, which turns it pink, and that was an old cocktail. That's not what we're talking about today. What's all the rage this summer is pink gins that are either turned pink by the addition of some very cheap chemicals or turned pink by the addition of botanicals or aromatics that lend a pink color. And it is the latter that we're talking about today. There's a lot of crappy pink sweet gin out there. This is a rosé of gin. The base gin spirit is made from wine, and it is turned pink by, it's from Provence in France, and one of the botanicals they use, and one of the things they use after the fact, is they macerate rose petals in the gin, and that's what turns it rosé. And it's aromatically interesting and beautiful. One of the other questions that people have, though, is what to do with one of these pink gins. And we're here to give you the answer to that question. And I think this is the best one of all of this trendy thing on the market. The easiest thing to do is to make a gin and tonic. So the key is, of course, to use a really good tonic. And so I'm not even going to measure because it's the summertime and we measure behind our bar, but you don't have to here. I'm using a really great tonic. This is 1724 tonic water. If you use a cheap tonic, you will get a bad drink, especially when you have something like this. With a gin, what you want to do is preserve the aromatics of the gin and add them to the tonic. You'll notice that I'm putting this in a wine glass, kind of half full with ice. This is what we call a Spanish style gin and tonic. Traditionally, we always serve gin and tonics in a Collins glass, tall glass, and this it became all the rage in Spain about 2016, 2017. You can go to gin and tonic bars in Madrid and Barcelona that have this, and what it does is it preserves the aromatics in the gin and tonic. And so here I'm going to pour into my pink gin about 60-40 gin to tonic, and I always serve the bottle. I love to serve small bottles, that way it always stays carbonated. And then you don't absolutely need a garnish with this because it's so aromatic. I happen to have some dried orange wheels, and isn't that a beautiful drink? And I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's a beautiful pink hue to the whole thing, and quite the quaffer. I'm going to give some to Rachel right now. There you are. You get the redhead, you get the first pink gin. That's how that works.
So refreshing.
Yeah, summertime cocktails.
Absolutely.
On the sidewalk.
I'm imagining I'm on the beach.
All right, I love that. Well, you're not. You're in New Brunswick, New Jersey. It's nice in New Brunswick, New Jersey, but it's not the beach.
Not the
Okay.
beach.
Next thing you want to do if you want to make a slightly stronger drink, it sounds really simple because it is really simple. I make it. You can do this either on the rocks or straight up into a martini glass. What I do is I take my gin, and the key with this stuff is you can't put a lot of lemon and lime and stuff in there because it just knocks it over, and you can't tell whether it was a pink gin or some other gin. What makes it special doesn't survive having a lot of additions to it. So I basically take 2.5 ounces of my Mirabeau Rosé gin, and then I take, this is just simple syrup or sugar water by volume 1:1. I take just a half an ounce of simple syrup, and I throw it in there. Now you can either do it this way or just do that on the rocks. And then I stir it around, and I get it nice and chilled and cold and all mixed together. And one of the other things that's happening is the ice is melting, and so it's not 100% pure alcohol. We have a little bit of melt water in there. Now, if you just pour this drink on the rocks, you can skip this step and just pour it in a rocks glass of ice. But I really like it up like this, and it's elegant and pretty. And then I take my julep strainer, and I pour, this is what they call a small martini glass or a Nick and Nora glass. And it's just gorgeous, and that just little bit of sweetness from the sugar. And again, I try to avoid a citrus garnish. It doesn't need a garnish at all, but we are professionals, so we have our dried orange wheel, and this is, I guess I call this a rosé gin old-fashioned. There's no bitters, but maybe I'll think of a better name. Anyway, it's a lovely way to enjoy this really excellent gin. Extraordinary.
Cheers.
Cheers. Launch. It's perfect.